Welcome back everyone, it's Vaz again with another video from World of Warships Legends. And in this video we are in the Odin, the German premium tier 7 battleship. And in this match we are on Sea of Fortune in a game of domination. Unfortunately we have the center spawn. It's always the worst for battleships when you have the center spawn. Usually what I'll do is I'll look at what my destroyers are doing and then sort of follow them. And in this match it's straightforward, there's only one destroyer, so I'm just going to follow him. And he's headed over to the Charlie objective, so that's where we're gonna go. It's gonna take us a while to get over there, so let's go over the shipping forecast. In our team, we have a Maas, a Cheshire, Chapayev, Azuma, Cleveland, Baltimore, Lyon, myself in the Odin, and a Big Mammy. On the enemy team, we have a Vakulin, Chapayev, and a Mogami in the division, and Edinburgh, a Wichita, Sinop, Scharnhorst, Bismarck, and Iowa. Now there were a few reasons I decided to post this game. The first being a little bit of strategic gameplay. It does show off a lesson in patience, which is very important when you're actually learning the game. It's something that took me quite a while to learn. And the other reason was because of the ending to this game. It does get a little bit exciting at the end, and so it's worth having a look just for that. Now there's a reason why I actually took the Odin out in this game. For one of the weekly Havoc missions, you had to set 25 fires. And I'm not the biggest fan of HE spamming cruisers. I mean, I can play matches in them, but spamming HE is not really the most fun. And so when looking for other ships to set fires in, destroyers don't really have a high fire starting chance. And it's not really fun to shoot HE in a battleship for an entire game. So sometimes what I'll do if I need to start fires is I'll take out the Odin. It's more of a battle cruiser than a battleship. I think I have its reload time at around 20 seconds. And that's without trying. I bet if you're trying, you could probably get this reload time down to 16, 17 seconds. So in this game, you will see me predominantly shoot HE, even at times that called for AP. But actually it suits the Odin's playstyle a little bit better to use HE because of its lower caliber guns. If you are going up against other tier 7 battleships, the armor is going to be harder for their smaller guns to penetrate. So using HE will actually be advantageous. It's taken us 2.5 minutes to get over to the Charlie objective. And before we've even fully gotten there, our friendly Cheshire has done what Cheshires do best. Wargaming thanks you for your 10,000 doubloons, or however much it costs. 10,000 doubloons just to sail broadside 2 minutes into a match and get nuked and finished off by secondaries. Sometimes I wonder. Anyways, back to the match. We saw Wichita and a Bismarck ahead of us, so we're going to engage them. With no threat of torpedoes, we can actually play quite aggressively here. Can go right into the cap, although we don't want to go too quickly into the cap. We want to survey what's around us. Since we only saw 2 ships, we know that there should be a third one over on this spawn somewhere. And because we haven't spotted him yet, there's a good chance that it's a destroyer. So you don't want to go in too aggressively, or else you might end up on the wrong side of some torps. Now the Bakulin has been spotted. It would be really nice if some of our teammates took some shots at him. But we were able to get some shots away on him. No results, unfortunately. But whenever you do see a destroyer, you need to take the opportunity. We do have 3 friendly ships with us, so we do outnumber the opponents on this side, which is good. Another beneficial thing about having HE loaded all the time on this battlecruiser type of ship is that whenever a destroyer does pop up, you have the right ammo type to deal a higher amount of damage to him. Potentially, of course. Unfortunately, the Odin is classified as a German battleship, which means its dispersion isn't the greatest.
Problem solved, sir.
So the Wichita popped out broadside there, taking a little bit of a chance. We were able to set him on fire. And he was able to set us on fire a couple of times. So we do put those out. Even though there is a destroyer lurking in the area, I'm not super concerned with him because I do have sonar. And I do have a friendly destroyer to screen potential incoming torps. Now we have an enemy Scharnhorst coming over to support their flank. So we are in a bit of a stalemate here. We're 4 against 4 now. But we've lost a couple of ships, so overall in the match, we are in a little bit of trouble here. Down 7 ships to 9. And the Bismarck and the Wichita keep playing peekaboo behind this island here. But we're just gonna keep being patient. We're not gonna charge at them even though we have torps and they don't. We don't want to get into a situation where we're between them and the destroyer or the Scharnhorst. That'll put an end to our game pretty quick. We don't want our game to end quick. We want to put a dent in this fire starting mission. So now we have secured this cap, so if we want to, we could leave it and get ourselves in a better position. Because it looked like that Scharnhorst was trying to flank us a little bit and catch us in a crossfire. Spakulin keeps popping up from time to time and launching a couple of torps at us. But I'll be honest, he doesn't really pose that much of a threat to me. Again, because of my sonar and the other friendly ships that I have around me. But he has been chucking those torps liberally, so I don't want to end up in a situation where I need to dodge some torps and end up putting myself broadside to that Bismarck. This has really turned into quite the chess match at this cap. And as time in the match ticks down, things are really starting to get tense. I keep trying to swap targets while using my torp block, but it's the most broken thing in the game, so it won't let me. That thing is really frustrating. Apparently the Scharnhorst has been taking a beating because he's down to about a quarter health. But he has successfully been able to flank us. So we're just gonna get angled to him. We thought we might be able to load some AP and catch him broadside. But our results weren't very good, so we switched back to HE. We got some torps out on him. And they looked pretty good, but they just came up a little short. Well, that's okay. He's not gonna last much longer. We're really racking up the fires on him.
Torpedoes, dead ahead.
And our secondary started to put some serious work in on him as well. The secondaries on the Odin aren't that bad. Especially if they can start fires for you too. I believe their range is between 6 and 7 kilometers. We dodge a few torps there to demonstrate the Odin's agility. So now that Scharnhorst has been taken care of, we can play a little more aggressively, knowing that we're not going to get caught in any crossfires. And again, I'm not too worried about that destroyer. I have enough hit points to take a torpedo or two. But we are starting to run low on time here. Being that we're down in points, we need to take out some of these ships. It looked like the Bismarck was dealing with our destroyer, so I'm going to make my move now. I'm just going to go for it. I was hoping that Wichita would be just by himself there. But just as we make our move, the Bismarck makes his move and he pops out. So we need to get some torps out on him. But the Wichita's health is a little bit lower, so we're going to focus on him. We swap over to AP instead. No time for missions. We need to eliminate him as quickly as possible. And dodging our torps, the Bismarck had to speed up, which put him in a precarious position. Put him broadside onto our teammate, so he gets eliminated. And that just leaves us one-on-one with the Wichita. And those Wichitas, they can sure soak up the damage. You can see there that we're getting some good broadside hits against him, but no citadels. Now that the Bismarck's down, we can go charge at this Wichita. And it looks like I'm still used to shooting HE as I'm going for the deck line instead of the water line there. Sort of one of those things where you do need to be aware of which shell type you're shooting. Thank goodness for our secondaries, and they finish off the Wichita. Now all that's left on our side is that destroyer. Unfortunately, in the process, we lost our destroyer, so that gives them a definite advantage, especially when they're up in ships and points still. We do own 2 of the caps, so if things stay the way they are, we would win on points. The Vakulin's out in no man's land, and the worst thing you can do is chase after a destroyer that's so far away from the caps in domination mode. Especially if you're in a battleship, there's no point in putting yourself so far out of position. There are other ships that we'd be more useful against. So we're going to get ourselves turned around and start heading towards the western part of the map. And there's an Iowa out in no man's land, but there's an Edinburgh directly in front of us, so we're just going to start hammering away on him. He's getting lower in health anyway, so he's definitely the preferable target. Just take a quick peek at that Iowa there, make sure he's not focused on us since we're broadside to him. If he has a range build, then we'll definitely be in his range. This Edinburgh is bow onto us, and they have very strong bow armor, so we'll just continue firing our HE. We're down in ships 3 to 5, so we need to get some more sinkings here with only a few minutes left in the game. We had gotten the fire started on that Edinburgh, and of course he put it out. And in our next shot, we were able to get another fire on him, which sticks. Now, Edinburghs do have heals, so it is possible that he's able to heal back some of that damage. He's popped his smoke now, so we've lost sight of him, and we're just going to keep charging towards him until he gets within our range again. But guess what I'm expecting as I head towards the Eddy there? I turn on my sonar because I know what's coming. And hey, look at that, more torps coming at us from the Vakulin. We played with our speed a little bit there to mess up his timing, and we're able to dodge all of them again. Something else is shooting at us from over top of the mountains, it looked like. So we're going to head towards it that direction. And we were able to eliminate the Edinburgh.
Torpedoes to port.
But we've also lost one of our ships, so now we're down 2 to 4. Things are not looking good. The points are pretty tight though. So if we are able to eliminate one more ship, we might be able to squeak out a win here. There's a Mogami hiding behind this island over here. He's at full health though, so we're going to get some torps out on him. And keep putting along here. We saw Chapayev in the distance, and he was on life support, so we're going to head towards him. He's going to be a much easier target to take out than this full health Mogami. We put some torps out on him just to scare him off. Most likely those aren't going to hit. He probably knows they're coming. The Vakulin is definitely getting some spotting XP, if anything. I don't know how much damage he's done in this game, but he does finish pretty high up on the leaderboard, and I bet you that's because of all his spotting. So even though he wasn't super effective, he was doing his job, and it was just that his teammates couldn't do enough damage to the rest of us. So now I finally have this chappie in my sights, and again, because of our mission, we just keep firing HE at him.
The ship is on fire.
Definitely should have swapped to AP at that time, being that he was broadside on, but maybe we knew we had enough time to get enough shots on him to sink him. And it all worked out in the end. Down goes the Chapayev, putting us ahead in points with only 30 seconds left in the game. That just leaves me and the friendly Azuma against the Mogami and the Vakulin. And oh boy, their Iowa is way out in no man's land. Where is he headed to? He should have been zeroing in on that Azuma. That would have won the game for them if he would have been able to take him out. that Azuma is kind of in a weird position there, and I'm telling him to get back. Don't go chasing after the destroyer. You're gonna get yourself torped. It's hard to dodge torps in that big beast of a ship. Thing has one of the worst rudder shifts in the entire game. It does leave him broadside to the Megami, but he is able to angle away a little bit. The Azuma does play it safe, and he survives and I survive, and we win the game. So all in all, a very clutch win at the end there. And in that game, we were able to show that patience pays off. It was quite the chess match at that cap at the beginning of the game there that lasted more than half of the game, but in the end we made our push at just the right time, and we had just enough time to sail to the other side of the map and eliminate 2 enemy ships to secure the win for our team. And in the process, we set 11 fires, which contributed to almost half of our mission there, and we ended the game with 104,000 in damage, 4 sinkings, and 66 secondary hits on target. Not bad. I do wonder how much damage they would have caused though. I wish they'd show you the secondary damage on the stat screen. That'd be pretty cool. And overall, a very fun and strategic game in the Odin. I do like the maneuverability and the armor of this ship. Well, that's all for this video. If you did like it, go ahead and hit that like button. If you do want to see more of my videos, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And as always, stay healthy and do what makes you happy.